So look at who's come to make a nuisance of themselves. I'm only tying on my flies and I forgot my fly box, would you believe it? So I have this wee box here that I have a few wee odds and sods in. So I'm going to see what I've got in it. Mostly I keep a few wee dry flies like Big Daddies in it, you know, but I'll have something that'll do me. But basically I've forgotten my normal fly box. And then of course these diving birds come and that's pretty much the end of the fishing, isn't it? You know, and look at them, eyeing me up. Aren't they amazing? Yes. And you see, every time they look onto the water, they're looking to see if there's any fish. So if you don't actually see them catch anything, it probably isn't worth fishing. Yeah. So as you can see, I've come out to fish again. I was out yesterday when I got off the ferry just for a quick run, like a quick explore. And it was only really a few minutes fishing, I guess. I was out about an hour, but by the time I walked and whatnot, and it was quite windy. So I came out for another quick run today, and we're going to suffer from variable winds here as well. But I'm hoping I can get a bit of a line out and maybe move a fish. This loch's very dour, so it'll not be like yesterday where I was fairly confident I would catch fish. But a bit of exploration, you know, we'll enjoy ourselves. And the divers here, well, we'll go up a bit, because if they're here, I was going to start here, but once I tie on my flies, oh yeah, oh, make yourself go home, yeah, put your feet up, get comfortable, have a cup of tea. Talking about cups of tea, I'll have one of those later as well. So I'm going to tie on the flies. I've got one of these like teal and blacks on the point, again because I'm putting together what I have from this wee box. So I found a teal and black, so it's going on the point. And if I can find something a bit of red in it, I think it's quite big for all the wind I have, but I'll try it. That's what I've got. What's this? Goat's toe. The goat's toe's not so big. I'll try the goat's toe maybe. And that'll get me going. So I'll come back in a while once I'm up and going, and I've moved along a bit to give the divers their peace and quiet, and so that hopefully they're not in my life either. Yes, I'm not belonging to come ashore. See, if you come ashore and eat my sandwiches or my tea or my big bun, I'll not be pleased. Oh. So I've come along here, the birds are down the far end there in the corner, and I'll come up here and see if we can't reach a settlement, because usually where there's birds, you'll not do much business with the fish. So maybe we'll have a wee cast from about here. The loch's well low. It's been very dry. Rivers are on their bones. Tough conditions for the rivers certainly, but sometimes the lochs benefit from being low, you know. But obviously I don't much benefit from having forgot to bring my fly box with me. However, we'll start. We'll see how we go. Have a bit of sport. That's the main thing. The geese somewhat confabulated to find somebody here. I'll just let it sink for a wee minute, I think. Just like, not long, but just in case. Because the water's still cold. And actually the breeze, I think, has got a wee bit cooler than it was. Because we were at Sheep earlier and it was quite mild, but it feels quite cool now. Even so, it's not a bad day for trout, you know. It's just that I'm not getting any. a particularly good cast, but it was kind of, believe it or not, into a good spot. It's obvious to even the most casual observer that the fishing isn't going awfully well here. And there's a few wee spits of rain starting, not much, but just the odd wee drop. So I think it's time for a cup of tea, you know? You can't beat a cup of tea under these circumstances. Having had a cup of tea, I think it's time to have another few casts, but it doesn't look too hopeful. This loch never does look hopeful though. Like I say, it's a dour loch, hard to get fish out of, you know. But I'm enjoying having a wee casting. Also, I did some flying of the drone, but you probably guessed that. Well, either that or you assumed I'd suddenly become very tall, but that seems unlikely. So I had a bit of fun doing that, you know. Gives an interesting angle on the loch as well, to see it sometimes from a bit of height. So this is the usual thing. I'm just going to keep moving along a wee bit now and again. The wind has come up and gone down and changed direction and all the usual things, you know. On a day like this, when there isn't much of a breeze, the wind's often quite changeable. So I've put the dry fly on, just a big daddy. I know it's a bit strange in June, but it's what I've got, and I'll hammer it out here a few times and we'll see how that goes. And then I'll just wander back to the car because I'm getting hungry. Well, I'm starting to feel like, you know, I could do with my dinner. And this is starting to feel like it's not too successful. Now, I kind of expect this here in this loch because it's so dour, you know. I didn't really expect to catch anything, but you always come in hope, and that's why I like it. It's a bit of a challenge, and you try different things, and nothing consistently ever works for me. So on this loch, you know, I've never ever had something that you just, oh, if you put this on, you'll catch fish. It's one of these lochs that it's just so tricky, you know. But I think it's time to walk for the car. You know, call it quits, walk for the car, and get some dinner. Because I think that I've tried the wet fly. I've tried, like I say, a dry fly. It's a not a huge daddy, but it's a sort of daddy type pattern, you know. So it's not an enormous fly, and I don't imagine they're too selective in here, you know. But they're sufficiently selective that they won't take anything I throw at them. So Time to walk for the car and get some grub.